Hello everyone, hope you're all doing well. Gonna have a crossout video for us today, guys. Now in today's video, we're gonna be going over the Snowfall Griffin widget car. There are a couple of reasons why I wanted to run this build today. The first reason is because I absolutely love Snowfalls. They're one of my favorite weapons in the game just because of their aesthetics. They're a very high damage, high durability, and very difficult to shoot gun, which I really adore those type of things in this. Anything like snowfalls, whirls, avalanches, anything with like really chunky like aesthetics, I really kind of adore it. And the second reason is because anyone who has built with snowfalls will know that getting them to work on a build is very difficult. So when you find a build like this on the exhibition that is done very, very well, then you've got to take the opportunity, in my opinion. As for the build in question, this is obviously an exhibition build. Originally, it was a Snowfall Dusk widget build, and I had to change that for a Griffin. A few reasons. The first is because I didn't have the fusions for it. I didn't have my Dusk fused for plus mass. And the second reason was to do with the firing of the guns. Now, Snowfalls have pretty low projectile speed. Now, bear in mind that this Griffin carbine here is with the few Snowfalls on this Griffin carbine are for 25% projectile speed, so they're all fused. And the firing arc is as follows. Now, if you run it on a Dusk carbine, obviously the rockets are going to do a lot more damage, but the projectile speed and the accuracy is going to be a lot lower. And that was a bit of a problem because I found that when I was running it on a Dusk carbine, if I was chasing someone down, for instance, and I had to shoot at a player, say at the end of that platform there, then instead of aiming here, I'd probably have to aim up like this, as so. Now, this is a bit of a problem when you have to aim like this with a wheeled build because the enemy in front of me, obviously, I can't see him. So if he moves, I don't know about it. And more importantly, I can't really see where I'm driving as well. So those figured with the fusions, I was like, you know what, let's just run it on a Griffin carbine. Griffin carbine is one of the strongest carbines in the game. It's borderline overpowered just because it has two perks. And the nice thing about the Griffin is that it has more energy than a Dusk. So I was able to put a Yeti cloak on it instead of a 10-second, which makes the Griffin even more overpowered. As for the rest of the build, it's pretty bog standard. We've got the widgets just because they're very powerful. Pegasus to up the mass and a Cyclops to up the reload, and that's pretty much it. The Snowfalls are a 9 energy weapon, so that's pretty nice. 10 tends to be a little too much, and 8 is just fine. So 9 for this amount of damage is pretty solid, I would say. And yeah, as for the build, really, really well put together. I really like the firing angles of it. The firing angles downwards are locked, so that's fine, and the firing angles are locked after a certain degree. So the shooting on this thing is actually quite ideal. It's not going to get blacked out at any point, which is really cool. So we'll jump into the usual 6 or 7 games of PvP now, guys, just to test this thing out, and I hope you all enjoy. Okay, Snowfalls. Let's see what you can do, shall we? I am looking forward to this one. I really, really love Snowfalls. They're one of my favorite weapons. Just aesthetically, I like heavy-duty type weapons, and the Snowfalls fit into that perfectly. Thing is, though, they're really hard to get to work like correctly or to build. They're difficult weapons for the most part, which is why I'm so excited to try this out. Right. See what we can see. This guy on the right's in a fight by the looks of it. That's a bot. Hello, sir. I think you just did more damage to yourself than you did to me. Oh, nice. That's a pretty good start. Okay, the guy's finishing off a guy's trip. Okay, he's running and we rocket him. That's the idea. Rocket, shoot! No, okay. Oh, crap, okay. Mate, you might not want to show your back to me. That was cool. Oh, it's really difficult to work. There we go. That's what I wanted. Right, well, build takes a little bit getting used to. The charging mechanism on the snowfalls is always a bit tricky. But the first game went pretty well, I'd say. Mostly it was just user error on my part. Good evening. Okay, I don't want to go that way. The hell are you? Okay. I don't think I've seen that bot before. Okay, I don't want to attack a spider. I'd rather attack him. Hello. Oh, that's what we want. Yes, yes, finally, there we go. Oh, corpses in this game, I swear. Everything that has a beginning has an end, Mr. Anderson. Well, the build is a lot of fun so far, at the very least. Hopefully we can play against a few more wheeled builds to chase down. You know, something like a Mastercard, Devourer Car, stuff like that. Because at the moment we're only really fighting hovers, which is fine. I mean, it's pretty good against hovers as we've seen, but still, I would like to chase a wheeled build down just to test it out. Okay, looks like all bots are fighting on the right, so there's probably a hover up back near their base if I had to take a guess. So we're gonna hit Griffin and go push him. Oh, what do you know? Lewis, you suck. What weapons do you have? Oh, it's a hurricane. Oh, sorry, mate. This was a bit unfair, wasn't it? Apologies. Alright, where's the rest of them? Okay, I don't want to push a bot. What is your build? Oh, what was your build? Yeah, you gotta be careful when you're going over bumps and thing, because the fire ankles down are locked at a certain degree. I think a nice buff for the snowfalls would be just to kind of reduce the charge time of the weapon. Like, you can keep an eye on when I shoot down below, so keep an eye on the rocket symbol a minute. So, this is when I hit the trigger, and that's when the rockets fire. That's a pretty long charging time, I think you'll agree. I know fusions will help that, but still, heck, that's still quite a while. That's probably longer than a Mastodon. Okay. Hello. God, Griffin is busted. Oh my god, two shot. Everyone's heavy now. That's awkward. How did the cyclone just not notice that I was... Yeah, but I'm not here, mate. Trust me. I frammed off a gun. Okay, let's do another drive-by. Boom, boom, boom. Basically just running distraction at this point. Oh, I tripped. Okay. Definitely not the build we should be fighting, but we made it work. I do hope the developers get around to making a legendary version of this weapon at some point. Just because the idea of it is really fun. You know, like, very short range, very high dura, very high damage rocket launcher. I really like builds like that, or weapons like that, I should say. I mean, on a tech tree, they've got the Snowfall in the same line as the Helicons and the Waltz, which just doesn't make much sense, really. It has nothing, very little to do with those guns. Oh, it's this guy again, mate. I'm sorry. I am very sorry. I'm just going to leave. And now his teammates are like, hey, wait, that guy's dead. Team, please push. Okay, round 2. Hello. Damn it, no, that was a terrible shot. Oh, I love the damage on this thing, man. Toto and Pukibari, but that's brutal. Where's the other guy? The hell? Where is the other guy? I hear shooting down here. Maybe this is a... There we go, yeah. Finally a dog! I think. Oh wait, he's done. Okay, never mind. Right, and that is it for the Snowfall Griffin widget build. As you guys can see, this thing does really well. Just hits like a damn truck, which is, the entire point of Snowfalls. It's really, really satisfying to use. I do feel like Snowfalls could do with a bit of a buff. Like I was saying, the charging time of these things does feel very extensive, even for like myself, for example. I'm very experienced on Mastodon, so I'm used to charging mechanics. Even for me, it feels like a long time. So I feel like if that would be sped up a bit, it would be a nice buff for the weapon, and they wouldn't be too powerful by any means. But yeah, hope you all enjoyed the video, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and I will catch you for tomorrow's.